All right, and when Mel Lastman called in the Army, that was, well, it's actually the anniversary right now and happened around this time back in '99. Kasia Bodurka with you here with a look at what's to come in your forecast today. Not as grippingly cold as yesterday, that's for sure, but Toronto's still under a cold weather alert. And now enjoying the confines of indoor, activities. We've got Kevin Yard, who's at the boat show. Here he is. I know, it looks so much easier, right, when you have more stability like that. Plenty of stability for us in our weather for at least today. Thursday, things change a little bit. We are seeing the possibility of some snow, but it's more so cottage country that's going to be impacted. To the north, seeing some light snows, and then here's the next clipper system that by Thursday evening, overnight into your Friday, could be picking up about 5 centimeters of snow through your typical snow belt regions, and that does include the Bruce Peninsula as well. And by the way, it is cold there as well. Earlier this morning, extreme weather warnings through the Bruce still. So into your long range, again, Thursday into your Friday, there's your clipper system, then high pressure in behind that, getting a little bit more mild too. Enjoy. So our friends in the west probably don't want to come to the east. Our friends in Alberta are enjoying daytime highs of 8, even 10 degrees in some places. That possibility is certainly there, and it's not, I'm afraid, for us. The best weather looking ahead, Sunday, a daytime high of 2. But first, we got to get past today and these temperatures and the brutal cold. Here's Kelly Noseworthy with someone who lives on a boat year-round in these cold temps. Awesome. It feels like you're on vacation out there. I'd consider that kind of a lifestyle. I don't know. Would you? Would you? With these temperatures, it's going to be feeling like -8 through the better part of the day today. To the north, we're seeing some light snows. That's not impacting us. And we're really not seeing anything until your Thursday, late day into Friday. Cottage country could be picking up about 5 centimeters or so. Can't help but notice the hair change. You're probably thinking the same thing, but more importantly, I should say, is today is the anniversary that Mel Lastman did call in the Army. So that was just over a 1 or 2 week period. There was a series of blizzards that dropped all that snow. And meanwhile, now we're being gripped by cold temperatures. Still today, Toronto under a cold weather alert because of infrastructure. Of course, we've had so many water mains breaking. Not as cold as it was yesterday, but someone keeping warm. Don't you want to sail away? Well, the boat show is still on. Here's Kevin Yard. Take us for a ride in the pool. I love that show. It's going on all weekend long if you do want to get a taste of summer again, right? To the north, we're seeing some flurries. That's not going to be impacting us. It's not until Thursday overnight into Friday that we'll be seeing some snows. That's going to extend as far south as cottage country. About 5 centimeters of snow there and a warm up on the way for the weekend. That feature there always makes me feel so cold when I watch that video and hear about all those various ice phenomenon. And speaking of ice, this is going to make you feel a little ice cold. Temperatures, or rather, temperatures have been much cooler, and as a result, this last year at this time we did have our January thaw. Where's that, right? We do have one in the long range. I'll tell you about that coming up. But someone who's living on the lake, on Lake Ontario, year-round. Here's Kelly Noseworthy. And now she just allowed us to do the same. Thanks to Kelly for that. Snows to the north for this afternoon, very light. That's a weak disturbance. Our next clipper system that moves in through the overnight for northern Ontario, not impacting southern Ontario really. It's more so Georgian Bay areas to the north of that are going to be seeing about 5 centimeters of snow Thursday into Friday. Could spill a little bit further to the south, so we'll keep you posted as that weather story unfolds. Today, not as cool as yesterday. Oh boy, some of our favorite things, right? Lake effect snow, eek. Yeah, we had some going on yesterday, but it's been relatively quiet, and today we're not looking at the potential for snow squalls. However, a clipper is on its way, and I'll tell you about that coming up. But first, let's head out to the exhibition place where Kevin Yard, he's warming up, and he's thinking about sailing away. Here he is. You know, they were great, but I would have liked to see Kevin do that next time. All right. Let's talk about those temperatures now, but that's mostly an infrastructure thing. Yesterday, how many water mains broke around the city? Of course, a lot of this all weather related, right? Okay, to the north, we do have some snow, so if you are heading to cottage country, maybe a light flurry or so. We're going to be a little bit more impacted by this next clipper system. It's going to be Thursday into Friday. We could be picking up about 5 centimeters of snow. The Bruce Peninsula will be impacted as well, anywhere north of Georgian Bay. So your typical snowbelt regions, Parry Sound impacted. Again, 5 centimeters, not a whole lot. They see sometimes 20 centimeters with the snow squalls. Your temperature story, it's going to be getting much better into the weekend, so you're going to start to see the teals move back in. Temperatures closer to 0. Daytime high of 2 on Sunday. Another installment of Force of Nature coming up throughout the show. Happy Wednesday. My name is Kasia Bodurka. Thanks for joining us here. We're getting much better in terms of those temperatures, and by the weekend, 2 degrees. Isn't that something? Meanwhile, it was record-breaking cold yesterday through the morning hours. Record-breaking in Godbridge as well as Hamilton. Not for the city of Toronto, but we were still at minus 21 at one point yesterday. So a little bit better. Winds, it's not going to be too windy. Tomorrow it'll be feeling like minus 17 as you step out, and I'm so lucky. I'm going to be out there reporting outside live. But to escape this cold, we have Kevin Yard. He's at the boat show. That is the coolest thing. It's the closest thing to flying, right? Flying over the water. Now, in terms of your weather story, let's get back to that. We do have a weak trough of instability to the north for this afternoon. That's not going to be affecting us, really. You can see just clear skies. High pressure continues to dominate. We've got the cooler temperatures still gripping us. We'll continue to see that for the next few days. And by the weekend, we'll be seeing a little bit of a warm-up, right? Above seasonal temperatures. What you're looking at here is Thursday evening into your Friday. We'll be picking up some snow closer to Georgian Bay as well. And we're talking about generally 5 centimeters of snow, not a whole lot, but it does extend as far south as the Bruce Peninsula and areas along the shorelines of Lake Huron. So into your long range, we're not seeing a whole lot happening over the weekend. We've got a clear weekend with high pressure and those warmer temperatures.
Here are the developing stories that we're going to touch on in this segment. Glad you're here for an update on your weather, because we have some sea effect snow continuing for western Newfoundland. We also have some snow for the southern prairies and some rain on the way for BC. But now we're dealing with some pretty cold temperatures.
It's cold looking at that video, hearing the winds in the background, and it really continues for today. Wind chill values for you in Charlottetown, it feels like minus 17. That's into the evening hours, so of course when temperatures dip down a little bit. But in terms of your winds, they're easing for some of us to the south. However, to the north, seeing still some windier conditions through today. Eases again with our next system, though. Southern portions of Newfoundland, you're going to start to see those winds pick up yet again by your Friday.
There is a low pressure system that's tracking across the prairies, and with that there is some snowfall, but it's happening well to the north of the actual low pressure center.
Sure, and you know, temperatures are also getting much better through this area as well. They've been braving the cold. We can thank the clipper systems actually for boosting those temperatures, and then of course there's a little bit of a cold front, but it's not going to do too much in the way of bringing those temperatures down. Another clipper system, and of course, Cheryl, as you know, I mean, this is a big story. We are seeing soaring temperatures in Alberta as a result.
The temperatures are incredible across southern Alberta, despite it being very windy, I might add. Around Pincher Creek, the winds have been gusting a little higher further south, and it's bright and sunny towards Saskatoon and points southwest, but the snowfall to the north.
Just so cool. Love this video. Now, we do have active weather coming to us. We have been experiencing that through the central and the north coast, but it's your turn through the southern mainland. So Vancouver, Victoria, you'll be seeing some rain push in late day Thursday, and we're talking a little bit of a soaker.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be 30 plus millimeters of rain for southwest BC in general terms, but some localized areas could go as high as, say, 60 millimeters of rain. So just something to be mindful of. Systems come in, but we've had our spell of drier weather, and now we have the rain to contend with as we go through Thursday and through Friday. The warmth will continue, so we've got some pretty decent weather across this area. But in terms of the overall pattern that we're seeing, just want to make a mention that for next week, we could have a decent low pressure system riding up the U.S. eastern seaboard, which we'll be watching.
Else back inside of the studio.
I would do anything to try that. It's the closest thing to flying, isn't it? My name is Kasia Bodurka. Thanks for joining us here, taking a look at, you know, the temperatures you may want to hide from to go to the boat show. I don't know, boat show or be out here. -6, not so bad compared to yesterday, right? Record lows yesterday in Godrich. It was -24 at one point. In Toronto, it was -1, but that wasn't a record. That wasn't breaking any records. Meanwhile, to the afternoon to the north, we are seeing a little bit of flurries fly. We do have a weak disturbance making its way through the region. We're talking about less than 5 centimeters of snow. In fact, let me show you here. We've got a graphic just for that. So 5 to 10 in some places, closer to the lakes as well. We do have some lake enhancement going on, but it's not so bad. -4, that's your daytime high. Of course, feels colder with the winds. You could see it's a little on the overcast side. By the way, normal daytime highs are around -13 today, so not so bad. Meanwhile, we are seeing some light snowfall. This, we can thank a clipper system for that, and then another system in behind that. Not doing too much in the way of temperatures, except it is boosting your temperatures a little bit in Manitoba. As you know, you're above seasonal, but it's a little bit more pronounced in Alberta, where today we're enjoying daytime highs of about -8 for you in Calgary. Isn't that something? But to the north, because of these clippers, we are picking up a fair amount of snow, 5 to 10 centimeters in some places, and then another round, another clipper system moving its way into the region come Thursday into Friday. For you, Thursday is also your big day along the lower mainland. We're picking up a good 30 to 50 millimeters of rain, so not a super soaking, but we haven't had a good rainfall in a while. You can thank this system moving in. So late day Thursday, it's going to be on the rainy side for you in Vancouver, but temperatures still hanging on to those above seasonal values, sitting at about 7-8 degrees for a lot of you along the BC south coast. And of course, it continues to be active along the central and north coast. It is stunning, like those temperatures we're going to be enjoying across the prairie provinces, especially Alberta for today. These are the developing stories. Milder air pushes into the prairies clipper in northern Ontario. We'll talk about how much snow we're expecting. And finally, we do have some storms brewing for the east coast. 2 systems are going to be merging. Kasia Bodurka with you here alongside Cheryl Plouffe. And we've got video. I believe we're going to Brandon.
That as of late in southern Manitoba. Now today the temperatures are still pretty cold. We're in the wind chills of about the -10 range, let's say, across southern Manitoba, but that's an improvement because it's been far colder the last while. But look at the warmth now. We're talking values here, daytime highs that are above freezing in Saskatchewan and Alberta too.
Right, and today is the pinnacle of this mild weather, especially for you in Alberta, where we're talking about daytime highs close to 8 degrees. Some models are showing it could get even more mild, closer to 10 degrees for some places, and that's what we're reflecting to you back with this map. You're seeing the blues spill in, which is lovely. I'm a fan of the blues and the yellows, Cheryl. Yellows meaning temperatures are above that freezing mark, which is what we're seeing for today.
Yeah, probably a little bit higher than that, probably in the range of more like 5 to 10 centimeters of snow. So northern Ontario, so just a little upper level disturbances coming through, bringing some snowfall there.
Right, but that's round 1 because we do have another clipper system on its way. We'll show you that, and there it is. So it's going to be impacting northern Ontario throughout the day, Wednesday into your Thursday as well. And we're talking about, in terms of amounts, 5 centimeters for most of us, and it will be impacting areas closer to cottage country as well. Much below seasonal day, so people zipping up, I don't blame you. Something like -6 today in Halifax, and it feels much cooler with the winds. But again, wait until tomorrow.
And some really interesting developments in the long-range forecast, because by next week there's a low pressure, or at least some of these models are hinting at low pressure in the U.S., along the U.S. eastern seaboard. That could have an impact. A little bit uncertain at this point with the computer models, but of course our meteorologists are all following it pretty closely.
Well, it's just out of the world stuff. Thanks to Nathan for that. And meanwhile, he is dealing with bone-chilling temperatures. Nathan is usually Halifax. Yeah, that's right. He was talking about the University of Dalhousie. Their temperatures are sitting at about -7. Wind chill values a little bit further to the north. It feels like -17 this evening for you in Charlottetown, -16 this evening in St. John's. But temperatures on the rise, like he mentioned. It's going to be a little bit more mild for you tomorrow into your Friday as well, with temperatures closer to seasonal, even above seasonal in some places. So, but we're still going to be below that freezing mark. Someone who's avoiding the cold in Ontario is Kevin Yard, but he's got some really cool stuff from the boat show. All right, and that's all Lake Ontario water there and behind them, or that they're on rather. Okay, to the north of Lake Ontario, we've got this trough of instability. Obviously, it's impacting our friends north of Georgian Bay. Just some light snow, really, on tap. Then this next system moves in. This is a clipper. It's going to be obviously a quick mover. It's not going to be dropping a whole lot of snow either. Also, an additional 5 centimeters with that, and it shouldn't be impacting us in southern Ontario. Though places closer to Georgian Bay, yeah, a good 5 centimeters could be falling through the overnight, especially Thursday into Friday. So have a look at overall snowfall amounts. in the next 24 hours. Noon, we're normally at -13, so we are winning, aren't we? That is, if we do like the more mild temperatures. I speak to a lot of people, on Twitter from southern Manitoba, and it seems like they're not loving the cool temperatures. This is normal for this time of year. A tough bunch you are. More snow to come to us in northern Alberta. A second clipper is going to be impacting us also Thursday into Friday. So just a heads up, more active weather, but that's continuing to keep those temperatures nice and mild for Alberta, and especially for you in Saskatchewan too for the next few days. Vancouver, the next time you get to see the rain is Thursday late day. This low begins to move in. As you can see, we're going to be seeing a good 30 to 60 millimeters of rain. And that's just perfect news, great news. Kasia Bodurka with you here with a look at your national forecast beginning in BC. West is best. That's what I keep hearing, right? You don't have the best weather, though, I'm afraid. So we've got 30 to 60 millimeters of rain set to come to you in Vancouver, near Grouse Mountain, really. But we are looking at also some snow through the higher elevations with the system. Time-wise, it's going to be Thursday late day into your Friday, because this high pressure, that's been blocking a lot of these systems from moving in, and that high pressure is moving away from your region, sinking south. Meanwhile, we've got not one but two clipper systems impacting us. So clipper number one brought up temperatures in Alberta, and now it's still bringing us snow to southern Manitoba. Clipper number two will be bringing us an additional 5 to 10 centimeters of snow to the north of Alberta. I mentioned that high pressure. There was also one right around here that's sinking south, and because of that, these systems are moving in a little bit easier come your Thursday. Those systems, they spill over the Rockies, and that's why we are seeing those clipper systems, and you can thank them for boosting up our temperatures as well, because they're well to the north, and a lot of us are under the influence of the warm sector. Well, kind of ominous looking, isn't it? Yeah. In terms of active weather, you do have some active weather moving to you in northern Ontario. No real reprieve when it comes to those temperature values.